Hi, welcome, welcome. I am so glad you're here with me today. I am Kelly Pitts, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Lubbock, Texas. And I have a blog called createwithkelly.com. I'd love for you to subscribe so you get more of my creative ideas and inspiration. And also, I have a YouTube channel where you can see more videos like this one. And that is Create with Kelly Pitts. And then I also have a Facebook page, Create with Kelly, and a Facebook group called Create with Kelly Crew. So would love to have you join any of those, and be sure on YouTube that you hit the little bell to subscribe, and you'll know when I go live. And it looks like I've got some sunshine right in my eyes. So sorry about that. Hard to guess all that. But please let me know and make a comment. Let me know who you are and where you're from as you drop in. And also, if you would like for me to know who you are, if you'll go to streamyard.com/Facebook and give them permission to view your Facebook comments. That way it won't just show up as Facebook user. So I'll get back to where I can see comments. Please, any questions, I'm happy to, I try to look up and multitask as best I can. But we are again going to, hi, Deborah, she's back. She's from Las Vegas. Well, good to see you, Deborah. I'm glad you're here. I bet y'all are warmer than we are, but we are having nice weather. Hope y'all are too. I am doing another card with the Flight and Airy designer series paper from the Celebration catalog, and that is free with a $50 order. You can choose that, and you get 12 sheets of designer series paper, 6 sheets of double-sided design. You get 2 of each, so it's a fun one to play with. I've done over a dozen cards with it, designed them. And let's see, this is a little bit crooked here. Let's see if I can get that better for you. Still trying to work out the shadow thing, but don't quite have it yet. Sorry. I'll keep working on it. All right. Let me tell you about, before I get started, let me show you. I've got actually the 12 cards that I was talking about here. Hang on. I've got 2 things going at once. Let's hide that one. There we go. This is some of the cards that are in my series that I am offering a class to go, and then I'm also doing a multi-video series. But if you purchase $50 from my online store, then you can get my PDF with all the measurements and supplies and everything for free. Isn't that awesome? Yay! I love giving things for free when I can. So that's what I'm doing with this one. And we'll see if I can get this banner off now that you've kind of seen an overview of the cards themselves. We will get that back up. And now you have my February host code that you can see here. There we go, with another another crazy shadow. I guess it says the sun is going. I don't know. Kind of funny. But thanks for bearing with me while I learn on these videos. Okay, what I'm not learning is actually making cards. I have been doing this. I've been a demonstrator since 2005. So it's been a lot of fun, and I do learn things every day. So I love to share what I learn. Let's switch this camera over so that you can see the cards easier, and you'll be able to see me, and I can answer your questions if you want. Just please comment and ask questions, and whatever you're interested in, we can chat about it. This is our Lost Lagoon cardstock that we have had that color before, and it came back in. So I was so excited to have it back in our regular color line. And I do burnish the cardstock a couple times on each side to make it lay flat better. And this is your typical 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. Since I was doing so many cards and thought I was doing a stamp a stack and offering that to people to be able to use everything, make all the cards. I didn't want them to all be fun folds. I wanted some to be pretty easy so that they could get everything done in an afternoon. So if y'all are interested, I am having that class on Saturday where we're going to make a lot of these cards. And I did not emboss this one. I thought I would show you the difference in how it looks with the plain frame. We could do a little stamping design on it, but I was thinking we would just leave this one plain so y'all can this one that has the painted texture folder. Oops, and this, sorry. I don't know how that switched. Did I switch that back? Going crazy today. All right. So this has the Perennial Postage die cut out of that. If y'all haven't seen these, it comes with a full pack of all different sizes of these. And I used one of these, I guess that second to the largest one, to cut out the inside of this. And I used it for another card. So I purposely made the frame a set size and tried to get that close to the middle so that I could use both. And I'm also going to be using today the Notes of Nature. We're going to use the little splatter stamp, and I'm going to use the just a little note to say hello. And then we're also using this gorgeous die that is the reason I bought this whole bundle. The Notes of Nature bundle is from that die. And it is beautiful in this shimmer paper. I think it's soft shimmer is what that's called. And it comes in several colors and it's in the annual catalog. And this is the Lost Lagoon color. But it really shows up that texture of the die, don't you think? Isn't that pretty? Love that. All right. And then we're also using on the inside, I'm going to use Hope Your Day is a Happy One from the So Sincere stamp set. And I'm not sure if both of those are linked below the video. Almost everything is, but not sure about those because I think I decided those kind of last minute. So, all righty. We have this piece of boho blue is 4 by 5 1/4. And as I said, I cut that out with the Perennial Postage die. And then we also have a piece of Lost Lagoon that is the Lost Lagoon Designer Series paper. This side, it's on the opposite side of those birds. You hate to cover those up, but I made a lot of cards with those. So I just made a few with this Lost Lagoon, and it is 2 by 4. So we're kind of going to attach it. You could attach it to this if you wanted it to be raised and then everything else be back. But I decided I wanted it to be behind. So I'm going to put it on the like this. And then we're going to put this up over it. So I'm going to go ahead and get that glued down just so that we have it ready. And then we'll get to doing a little bit more stamping and blending. We're going to use our blending brushes on the white deckled circle. And I'm just going to kind of center this at the bottom. That should be about right. And then I'm going to actually leave a little bit of that. So I that deckled circle, I'm not going to glue that all the way. If I got glue up there, then I'm not going to press it down till I get that circle in. And I guess, I think I'm going to stop there. Well, I guess we could go ahead and put this because the deckled circle fits inside. So I'll be able to go ahead and put this on. And we're going to use the sides of our dimensionals. You could use the foam adhesive strips if you have those on hand. That would probably be the easiest. So it's one straight strip. But I am just going to use the sides because I have several of those packs of dimensionals here. And I'm just going to pop that right up close to the edge, not on the edge where it would show, hopefully, on both of the long sides there. Snip, snip. Hope y'all are having a great day. Thank you for watching, and please do share with your crafty friends. That's what allows me to do all these videos for free as I'm trying to build my subscriber base on YouTube and my mailing list that is on MailChimp. Let's see, here we go. Here's another long one for the top. That's going to be close, isn't it? It's kind of hard with the camera right in the way here to see exactly where I am. Hopefully that's not sticking out. Why does this keep changing here? Y'all tell me. Woo! Thanks, Deborah, for letting me know that. I guess I'm just hitting the corner of it with my little, I have a little trackpad, you know, that's with my iMac. And it's not just a little, you know, handheld thing. It's the big track. Well, here it is. See right here? That's what's sitting over here beside me. And so I may need to move that over a little more. I must be hitting it with my elbow or something. Uncoordinated today. Sorry about that. Promise I'm not doing it on purpose. Okay, so that's the outside there. And like I said, you could emboss it. You could do a little bit of stamping to give it some texture. But I want to show you the plain one versus the textured, so you know if you decide to make this card on your own, which way you prefer. Everybody has a little bit different taste, right? Okay, so that should be even all the way around. And it's not quite. I'll let it get the best of me there. Okay, let's try that one more time. I'm going to try to hold the card down. Excuse me. We're already starting to get some of that March dust blowing. Whew. It's kicking my allergies in, that's for sure. Okay, and when you put this Lost Lagoon pattern paper, it does have little birds, so you might just look at it before you put that on just to make sure you have it the way you want it. Okay, sorry, we just had that totally off screen there. Okay, now we're going to take our little scratch paper that I used on the last video moments ago. We'll move this out of the way because I think that's all I can do until then. And we're just taking this Deckled circle, and this comes from the Deckled circle dies that are, I think I brought them in here to show you. Maybe not. But you have probably seen them, if not used them. Oh, here they are. This is the Deckled circle, and it would be about the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in from the smallest. And we're just going to take our blending brush. Stampin' Up! Has awesome blending brushes that you can use for backgrounds or filling in florals or whatever you want to use it for. And we're going to use the Lemon Lolly and kind of make like a little sunset or sunrise or something behind it. And you always want to tap off. Let's get this where you can see that. Let's do it this way. Tap off onto your scrap paper and then go on from the side in a circular motion. Usually gets a lot smoother effect. And this is just, it's a totally different look than it would be if you just cut the Deckled circle out of Lemon Lolly, because you do have that white kind of showing through. And you wouldn't have to do this in yellow, but I just thought it picked up the colors in the bird's little breasted area or neck and whatever. I don't know. Underbelly, maybe you call it. I don't know. I'm not a bird aficionado or anything. But I have enjoyed playing with this Flight and Airy Designer Series paper. Really like that. Okay, and since we have such a heavy edge, I kind of got more on the edge than I intended to at the bottom there, but most of that's going to be covered up anyway. I think that's good. And then we're also going to go ahead, while we've got that out, I'm going to do the inside of the card. Try to see where y'all can see the best. And you want to be able to not get it too dark where you can't really write in there, but it can use some color. Jazz that up a bit. And just kind of keep going in circular motions, always tapping off onto your scratch paper first before you go to your card, and then go in from the side and do a circular motion. Just a light layering. If you start dark, you can't go back. So if you start really light, it it allows you to layer as much as you want to on there. Thanks, Deborah. Glad it's looking better now that I've got the, hopefully I'm not hitting the screen thing with my hands. And I think I'm going to do just a little bit of Lost Lagoon there toward the bottom, because we're going to do another bird inside like the video I did right before this. Let's see. I think I put my brush up. Alrighty, we've got our Lost Lagoon. I'm going to do a little bit of that at the bottom. And you always, if you're doing blending like this, you want to start with your light color first and then do your darker, just in case, because you don't want to start with your green and then get that on your light yellow brush. So, and you can wash your brushes, but I just like to have a couple for each, like a light and dark for each color family. Okay, that's our Lost Lagoon, and this is the old pad that we used to have before the color came back again, and it still worked years later, so I didn't buy a new one. Okay, I think we're done with that. We're going to go ahead and stamp our little greeting on the inside and on the top front, if I can find my little pad. Here we go. Okay. We'll just stamp our just a little note to say hello. That comes from the Notes of Nature set. And I'm going to stamp that in Night of Navy. Just toward the top of the circle. I'm kind of going to go about as far as I can up without going off the circle to make sure I have plenty of room for the birds. So that is Night of Navy. And we will, what are we going to put on the inside? I was thinking of the Hope Your Day is a Happy One. What do y'all think of that? You like that one? I think that goes well enough. It's a little bit different font, but it is a mixed font with the serif and well, not really. It's all sans serif, but one's more scripty than the other. But I was thinking I might put that here and then put the bird down here. So unless I hear objections soon, which y'all, there, of course, there's a delay. So I'm trying to give you a minute. Okay, Deborah, think that sounds good. We're going to go with it. And I kind of, on the inside, I like to, I've just gotten in the habit, and I do it fairly often. If I have another image that I can put on the bottom, I try to do the greeting at the top left and then the little image at the bottom right to kind of balance that out. I'm not really an in the center everything kind of gal. Okay. So that's all of our, nope, I want to stamp our little splatter stamp from that same nature stamp. I'll do that in Lost Lagoon also. Just to kind of ground our little bird that's going to sit down there. And again, that was Lost Lagoon. You like is that the good idea, Deborah? Is that the top left, bottom right? Is that what you mean? I guess I really like doing that. Okay. I'm going to show you, it's easy to fussy cut those birds out of that designer series paper. You don't have to be perfect. This is not perfect. You can tell it's not a solid line. It's done in watercolor, for goodness sake. It's meant to be a little blurred lines. So you don't have to do perfect fussy cutting. Just leave a little white around the edge and you'll be good to go. And as you can see, or maybe you can, this is a straight edge. That was on the corner or on the edge of the paper where the rest of his tail was cut off on the paper, because that's just the design of how they did the paper. But that doesn't mean you can't use it just because it's not complete. We're going to kind of put it right over here against the edge and nobody would ever know. See, it just kind of goes off the edge like it's on purpose. Because it is on purpose. We chose to do it that way, right? We can take creative license anytime we choose. Let me get this cleaned off really quickly on my little chamois. Anybody have any questions right now? I'm glad you're watching, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, or if you're watching the replay. I really appreciate it and appreciate your business in my Stampin' Up! Online store. And if I can help you any way, I'm happy to do so. If y'all need a catalog, if you don't already have a demonstrator, I am happy to help you with that. I'm just going to glue our little bird down. And you wouldn't have to have this bird. You could just, that wasn't good, was it? Let's just do it twice. Let's see how big of a mess we can make, shall we? Oh my goodness. Well, that's just going to have to be part of our design, isn't it? Because this needs to be on the edge. Otherwise, I'd probably move this over to take care of that little boo-boo. But I think with it all watercolory anyway, it's not really going to matter. And I'll come back with an adhesive remover. If y'all have one of those, that takes off that glue. So that will hopefully take care of that. We're going to put that on the inside of the card. And it still looks pretty. It's just, I think that will be fixable. It's not like it's a total solid anyway. It's kind of all, lots of watercolory strokes in that paper. So I'm just centering this in the rest of that panel on the inside. Isn't that pretty? I like that. Can you see the variations in color? The light kind of washes some of it out. Okay, now let's do our little note. And as I said, remember I left that little pocket there so that I could stick this under wherever I wanted. And I'm just going to center that, kind of get it close to the top, and then we'll figure out exactly where we want our birds. This is going to lay flat because we want our birds popped up. And I'm just making this, we're trying to get it with the greeting to be kind of straight. And then this distance left, right, and top to be about the same. That's my goal. Okay. Then we've got this piece that I cut off at 4 inches. This is 1.5 inches by 4 is what I cut out of that shimmery paper. Subtle, I think it's called Subtle Shimmer. It should say it in my supply list. I think I have it in the supply list right below the video. And then I'm going to cover this line. Just see, that's kind of a stark line, and I thought it needed something. And I really wanted to use this again because I love this die. I can't tell you how many different cards I've designed using this die. And I'm kind of going just in the middle, and then on the solid part there, you've got a lot of deep slashes that are die cut, and I'm just doing it really on the solid part, not on the slashed part, if that makes sense. Then I'm going to do a little bit there, and then if we need to, we can do a little bit more as we get this on. But I'm just going, I really would like that to go all the way across. I'm going to lift that up, move it just a tad so it goes all the way to the edge, and that way it doesn't look funny that it's cut off right here. See, if you go all the way to the edge of your paper, then it looks intentional, which it was indeed intentional. Okay. Thank you, Deborah. I'm glad you like my designs. Are you a demonstrator, or I know you said you're from Vegas. I don't know if you're a demonstrator yourself, or if you just are a Stampin' Up! Customer. I need a sip of water real quick. Okay, now we're going to use our little birds, and I'm going to die cut, not die cut, fussy cut that a little bit more. This one looks like he's got a little too much white left around him. Get that a little bit closer so it just kind of evens up with the rest of the what I've done. And now we're going to just kind of tuck this in like they're sitting on that branch. So I want this tucked so it doesn't look funny that they don't have any feet. It's believable that they're just tucked underneath them, don't you think? Okay, hobby demonstrator. Yes, that's a great thing to be. You get a discount that way, and I have several hobby demonstrators on my team here in the Lubbock, Texas area, but I would love to branch out if any of y'all are interested in joining. This is a great time of year to join during celebration because you get extra goodies, lots of extra goodies. Let's see, where do we want that? I don't want that looking like it's coming out of his tail, but I don't want it to cover up his tail. Maybe we're going to put him a little more upright, even though we're covering part of that leaf. That kind of comes up. I think that'll work right there. And then this one will be a little more upright. And I'm just putting 2 dimensionals on each of the birds. Because I think that's plenty to hold them. You want to make sure you don't interfere with where the greeting is. Just kind of make an interesting arrangement there. And you could use the rainbow adhesive backed dots that are in the annual catalog. No, these are in the mini catalog, January to April 24 mini catalog. You could use these Lost Lagoon kind of color, or you could use the ones that I used on my last card. Hang on just a second. Those were the ones I was going to use because they are opaque faceted gems. So I really like the faceted look. Let's see if we can find them. If not, we'll use these. I sure thought I had them. Hold on momentarily. I have a pile here. I hit my screen again. I hit my trackpad. Okay, Kelly. They seem to be missing. Let's see if I put them in there. Nope. Found them. Okay, hoorah. Right under, of course, they were hidden underneath the ink pad. How don't know how I would cover up an ink pad. I don't know, but I did. Okay. So we'll get our little take a pick tool out. And do we think I think I used the smaller ones. Let's look and see if we like I guess we've got more of the smaller ones. We'll put a couple of small, and I'm just barely going to set that on there just in case I might want to move it. Because I try not to get them at the same level, you know, where they're not parallel with each other. Kind of make them in an interesting spot. And I don't know if it really shows up down here on this, but there's not really, we could really do 3 little ones up here, I guess. It looks funny to put it between them, and you don't want to crowd it. Do we like it up here, the third one? Or do y'all like it down here like I had this one? Use a larger one and use it at the bottom. What do you think? Top, bottom? Let me know what you think, and I'll give you a second to reply, to make a comment. Let me know if you want it top or bottom. What do you think? What do you think? Okay. We will do top. Deborah says top. We're all about it. Okay. Oh, Deborah, what did you retire from? Are you a teacher, or what were you in for your career? Thank you for the compliment. I'm glad you like the way I teach. I have been doing it a long time, so I try to pass on any hints and tips and techniques that I've learned over the years to you. So happy to have you watch. Hope y'all have enjoyed this, and thank you, whether you're watching live or watching the replay. I always appreciate you sharing with your crafty friends and let other people be inspired by what I create. And if you need any help with any products, my host code is on the screen. So thanks a lot. I will. Oh, you were a caregiver, Deborah. Good for you. That takes a toll, I'm quite sure, but I'm sure it was rewarding. That's kind of just being a demonstrator and doing a lot of classes. And videos and blogs and all that can be kind of taxing, but it's not in the same way. It's not as emotional as the caregiver. Kudos to you. Thank you for your service. All right. Well, I will let you go. Thanks again. And I'm probably going to do one more video tonight because I want to do a blog post with all 3 of these before February is up and you can't get the paper anymore. So thanks again for tuning in. Ring the bell or whatever you need to do, the bell on YouTube to sign up to get notifications. That would be great. All right. Have a great week. Thanks again for tuning in. Fun times ahead. Bye-bye.